Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back to my channel, Extreme Tarot, where we do moon readings, pick a cards, and zodiac readings. Today we're doing a pick a card reading, a look into your finances. This is another one of my Ariana Grande readings, inspired by the album Thank You Next that I'm doing because I'm a huge dork. And just because I wanted to be inspired to do different kinds of readings that I don't normally do. So here we go. Here's a reading I don't think I've ever done before. We're just looking into your finances. So I want to kind of take a look at just like where you're at with your finances right now. We're going to get oracle cards to start and just see basically like what is going on with your money right now. We're going to also look into with tarot like your saving habits, your spending habits, and just like your credit and how that's going, all that's going, some advice, and some tea leaf cards just to see what's coming up next for you financially. So I have 3 cards for you to choose from. This one here, this one here, this one here, 1, 2, and 3. So whichever one is calling out to you. Here, I'll put crystals on there too, just in case you like to pick with crystals. Put that one there and there. So we have Amethyst point, Celestite, and Lepidolite. So whatever card or crystal is calling out to you, pause the video if you need to. Otherwise, let's jump in. Okay guys, so if you chose the Amethyst point, put that there. And this card right here, this is going to be a reading to see what's going on with your finances. So the first card that we have is the 3rd house messages. The 3rd house deals a lot with communication and things like that. It's also related to the sign of Gemini. So I feel like with that, I'm getting like a mixed bag here that you maybe have some good habits and some bad habits, okay? I feel like with the fact that you chose Amethyst, Amethyst a lot of times is about addiction, so like addiction could play a role here, or just like some compulsive spending or something like that. So let's start and get a few more cards to see here. Sorry if you could see like the microphone wire, it's shaking the camera right now. This is like, I need a better system here. Clearly, but all right, let's just go ahead. So let's get some of these. What's going on with pile 1's finances? Spirit. We have celebration. Okay, so I feel like what I'm getting with this, a positive outcome is assured. Celebrate your success and enjoy your achievements and expansion. You might have maybe recently had some sort of success. Like I was saying, like there's like mixed messages here where I feel like there are maybe some compulsion, bad spending habits. Not bad, but maybe not the best spending habits. Let's say it like that. This is number 27, which reduces to a 9. So maybe you're like out on your own for the first time and having a tough time like managing your money. But I feel like that you are successful. I feel like there is some sort of like, whether you have an inheritance, whether you have a new job where you make a lot of money, I feel like there is some sort of good, like there is some sort of influx of money. Like I don't feel like you like have no money, for example. I feel like you do make money, but maybe the issue is what you do with that money. So let's look in and see. But I feel like this, like you've been thinking about ways that you want to maybe like have better habits when it comes to your financial success. That's 2. Okay, tap me into pile 1. What's going on with their finances right now? We have door to personal healing and happiness and healer of the ages. So I feel like, again, like I was saying, like healing, maybe healing is the wrong word, but kind of better managing your finances. I feel like you're sort of, it's like this new door opened up for you. Like I was saying, like you've had some sort of success or come into some money recently, and
I feel like you're wanting to improve, and you're not wanting to make like the same mistakes or something like that. It's like you want to heal your relationship to money, you want to heal your finances. It's like, I feel like if you haven't been on your own yet, it's like you maybe want to figure out how to get more independence for yourself, something like that. Let's get one of these Astrology cards. What's going on? Tap me into pile 1 and their financial journey right now. What's going on with pile 1 and their finances? Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. You're very close to achieving your goal. So I feel like Spirit's wanting you to maybe not be hard on yourself if you are. With Aquarius, I feel like, especially, well, let's just get this last card and then I'll just kind of go on with this and then we'll get tarot, because I don't want to make these readings like super, super long. Tap me into the energy of pile 1 and their money right now. Okay. What's going, oh, that's too many, sorry. What's going on with pile 1 and their finances? We have Venus, love. Interesting, 2 cards about love. So maybe you've recently gotten married, for example, with the celebration, and now it's like 2 incomes instead of 1. Let's read this. Beauty, harmony, romance, charm, receiving. Receiving, it's like you're receiving some sort of, it says luxury, wealth, value, pleasure, adornment, adoration, attraction, indulgence, taste, and style. Okay, so let me just pick this up for a second. These cards are kind of, I feel like something maybe that you've been doing like is overspending, overindulging, I'm getting. Maybe you've spent a lot of money in like making your space nice, or like I was saying, maybe you are recently independent and you just got a new house or apartment or something like that. So a lot of your money has gone into like furnishing your apartment and making your space beautiful. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I was saying, like there is wealth here, but I feel like it's going out as quickly as it's coming in, is like the vibe that I'm getting. That's like that sort of third house. Like it's coming in, but it's going out, like the influx and the outflux, if that's a word, like, is kind of like what's happening here. Like it's out of balance somehow. Or actually, I think it's like in balance, where it's like you're kind of spending everything you have. It's just like canceling each other out. So even though you do have like a little bit more to work with here, it's kind of like the more you get, the more you spend, kind of a thing is what I'm getting here. So it's like, when I think about manifesting money and stuff like that, and I remember this happened to me one time, because like I'm a server, I'm a waitress, but I remember I got this second job working for my sister's fiance, and I was making like an extra $600 a week. And I remember like I think I only cut down one day at like the place I was working at, like the restaurant I was working at. So I thought like, oh, I'm gonna have so much money, like da 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 da. Like I literally was making more than well, I don't know if it was more than double, but at least double, if not more, than what I was making with that $600. So my income like almost doubled, and I never felt like I had more money, if that makes sense. So I feel like this could be like a similar situation here. I'm just gonna like move this back. I feel like this could be like a similar situation here, because that's kind of what I'm getting. Like I'm getting that like you're spending your money on all these luxuries. Not that you don't deserve them, not like you haven't worked hard. Clearly you've achieved something here and had some sort of success. Celebrate it, enjoy it, absolutely. But with the bring love into the situation, yeah, just the way I'm seeing her on this card, just like pouring it out, I feel like that's your money. Like, woo, like bye-bye. Like there it goes. Like, you know what I mean? And I feel like you have created, like with Venus, that's like the second house. That's all about like your space and your home and your comforts and stuff like that. Even good food. Like maybe you've been going out, living it up. Taste, style. Maybe you've been buying some new threads, especially if you got like a new job. Maybe you need like kind of like a new wardrobe to go along with it. There's a lot of these initial expenses maybe that come along with certain things, like buying a house and getting a new job and needing to sort of like fit the bill for that. Even if you don't get like a fancy job, like for instance, like I'm talking about waitressing, like you have to buy your uniforms, your aprons, your shoes. Like there is like that initial like cost when you do get a new job, something like that. So I feel like that's kind of what's going on here. Like we have money coming in, but it's going out just as quickly. So if that sounds like you, it's kind of like look into the rest of your finances here. So let's get some tarot. Tap me into pile 1. But I feel like you are really happy, so that's really important too. So if we could just maybe tweak, maybe not pour the whole jug of water out here, of money out, just maybe like half of it, and we could save some of it. I don't know. We'll see what Spirit has to say. So what are your spending habits? Pile 1, like what's going on with the spending? We have the 7 of Swords and the King of Pentacles. Like, that came out together. That's kind of cray. So I feel like you're almost like deceiving yourself that you're like, oh, look, the 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Like, you're like, the hard times are over. Like, I have money now. Ooh, Queen of Cups in reverse. Sorry, I think that was just an accident. But I don't know. We'll see if that comes out again. But let me turn this back. I don't like when my cards are in reverse. But the 7 of Swords and the King of Pentacles, it's like you're almost kind of like deceiving yourself. Like, I've made it. I'm good. Like I was saying, maybe you're buying some new suits or like some new threads like for the job or something like that. Or you've just been like buying new clothes and you're kind of just like thinking like the hard times are over. Like, I've made it, blah, blah, blah. But I think Spirit is wanting you to know that like that manifesting thing I was talking about, when like if you're kind of like, if you have more money but you're also spending a lot more money, like the ratio basically stays the same. Like, okay, say you have make $100 a week and you're spending $100 a week. What's that, like a 1-to-1 ratio? So now say you make $500 a week and you're spending $500. Again, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. It's the same. Like, you're kind of in the same spot. I don't even know. I haven't done ratios and math in many years. So if that isn't right, what I just said, I'm so sorry. I'm not like a math whiz here, but anyway. All right. So let's see your saving habits. Oh, 5 of Pentacles. They're right. Like, maybe not the best saver. Okay. And then we have the Lovers in reverse. And so I feel like you're maybe just, you've decided that like you can't really save yet. I feel like that's what's going on. You're like, you kind of made like a conscious decision with the Lovers here. And that's, again, that Gemini energy. So I feel like you have a sort of like all or nothing approach to this. Like, okay, like I'm going to save all my money, or I'm going to spend all my money. Like, I'm balling now, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't need to worry about money anymore. It's like you're kind of like not worried about it anymore. But you're definitely making a conscious decision to like live it up right now. I would say with the Lovers. It's all about your choices. So I think Spirit is saying like, be careful of the choices that you're making right now when it comes to money. Especially if you're just like kind of like going crazy here. Because I don't feel like there's much being put in the bank right here with the Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles coming out. So I don't know. One thing that helped me to start saving, like, I don't know if this will help anybody, but okay, I had to open up a second bank account because it was the bank account that like my landlord had, so I had to be able to like just transfer my rent that way. So I had to open up this other bank account, and it was so weird because I guess my Amazon Prime renewed, or I don't know what happened, but I must have set it up to be on that new bank account or whatever. But my Amazon Prime renewed, and I didn't realize that it was like, or I don't know, maybe it was really fraud now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. Amazon gave me like some $100 purchase, and like I got an alert on my phone, and it asked me like if it was fraud, and I said yes because I didn't know what it was. I'm like, what is this? Like, oh my god, it was like some like weird amount. I thought somebody got my info, so they like canceled the card. Okay, and I never got a new card. And like, so like I was saying, like that's the bank account that I use to pay my rent. So that's like where I put all like the bulk of my money. I pay my rent and my car payment out of that, and also this huge credit card bill that I have. So like the bulk of my money goes in there. Like I'm a waitress, so all my cash goes in there, and my paychecks go in my other little bank account where I just pay like a couple little nothing bills, like my car insurance and my what else, like my utilities and stuff. It's really not that much. I'm one person, so like I never got a new debit card. What I'm saying is for this other bank account, the one that has like the bulk of my money in it. So it's like I can't touch that money. Like I literally, even if I wanted to, even if I was in a jam and I'm like, oh, I really want to buy this, like blah, blah, blah. Like I guess I could transfer it or do some like set up my bank account or whatever, but like I won't do it. Like I don't even know what my routing number or my account number is, and I don't want to know. Like, I mean, I have it somewhere in some paperwork, but I won't look for it. I just keep it. So like I really have no access to this money. If I want this money, I have to get up and drive to the bank. Like, you know what I mean? So if I do blow the money that I have for my paycheck, that's such a small percentage of like my actual income. Like say my paycheck is like, I don't know, 20% of my overall income. So if I blow 20% of my income, whatever. Like I mean, I'd rather not do that either, but it's not the end of the world. Whereas if I blow the 80%, which is kind of like what I was doing before, not all of it, but more of it, I was blowing maybe like 40% of my income or 50. Let's be real. Like my savings and stuff, like that's the only way I've been able to save money, is that like I have a debit card that I can't use. And people are like, oh, what if there's an emergency and stuff like that? But I mean, I guess I'll just cross that bridge when I come to it. Like I'll tell myself that I need to have this new blanket on Amazon, and that is an emergency. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a compulsive spender, so I get this pile like a lot. Like, I mean, I'm not really anymore. I wouldn't consider myself that anymore sometimes, but yeah, so I don't know, that's just something to think about. If you could have a way where you could kind of like save money but not really have access to it, that's just a way that worked for me, and it was like an accident. So I don't know, I just thought of it. All right, let's see your credit. What's going on? Ooh, we have the King of Wands in reverse. And what's going on with you know, I didn't really anyway, let's just leave it. What's going on with pile one's credit? Strength in reverse. Damn. All right, so I feel like your credit maybe either is not good or it's not established yet with the King of Wands. So maybe like you don't really have a lot of credit, like credit cards, or maybe like it's like you haven't bought a house yet. So if you did buy a house, this isn't going to apply to you. But if you haven't bought a car like in your own name or something like that, if you just like, for instance, saved up for it initially and like didn't have like to go through like a dealership and like pay a car payment for like 3 years or whatever it was, like you wouldn't have credit. If you don't have credit cards, like you don't really have credit. Like maybe you have like new credit. I feel like I'm more so getting like the not established thing, like you haven't really established credit. Maybe you're like scared to like go into debt or something like that. This card is sticking out to me, the Knight of Swords. Maybe you feel like you know your impulsive spending habits or something like that, so you're kind of try to shy away from credit cards. But I feel like regardless, your credit card isn't terrible, but maybe it's not really established yet. The or I'm also getting that maybe like you did have bad credit, but you're like trying to turn it around or something like that. Because the King of Wands and Strength, if they were upright, I would say your credit was good. But just the fact that they're here and they're in reverse, the energy is still here. It's just like needs to be flipped over in a way. So like, for instance, if you're the first example that I used where like it's not really established yet, I would say like, you know, maybe get like a credit card, like a that doesn't have like a super high limit, and just like put your gas on it every month and then just like pay it off at the end of the month. Like whatever you got, $50 a week, $200, like you're gonna spend it anyway, just pay it off in full every month to start building up your credit. That's one example. If it is bad and you're trying to fix it, you know, what can you do? Try to start paying off your credit cards. If you could look and find like a 0 interest credit card, you could transfer all your debt to. Make sure you pay every payment on time, even if it's the minimum. If you're just paying the minimum, try to like, you know, pay like at least a little extra on it, like even if it's just like 10-20 bucks, like do what you can, you know, like, or I feel like you are trying to do that though if your credit is a little bit, you know, not good right now. So just keep doing what you're doing if that's the case. Woo, sorry, I just shook the camera. All right, so let's get some advice and see what you could do to kind of better improve your financial situation here. What could pile one do to improve their financial situation? Ooh. Spirit, tap me into pile one's energy. We have the 9 of Cups, the King of Swords. It's too many. I just want one more. What could pile one do to better improve their financial situation? The 5 of Wands. Okay, so first of all, if you're like comparing yourself to other people, like maybe your friends or people you work with and stuff like that, like I feel like there's some, like, stop comparing yourself to other people. I feel like think of ways to maybe look to the root of your compulsive spending and see like what is it, like why do you feel like you need to have like all this like nice beautiful stuff? I feel like you could be somebody that's kind of like obsessed with status or something like that. You care a lot what other people think about you. So it's like you want to like appear a certain way to other people. Like Spirit's like, all right, like enough of that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you got to learn to be like satisfied, like like emotionally fulfilled without needing all these like status symbols or something like that. With the King of Swords, it's like be more decisive. Like, remember what I was saying about the Lovers, like you're consciously deciding to like not save or something like that. It's like you kind of think like, oh, like I got plenty of money. Like, I think with the King of Swords, it's like, get real here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you never know what's gonna happen. You gotta like save for a rainy day. Like, you gotta save even just for fun things, like whatever it is. Like, you gotta get real here and start making a little bit better choices, and just kind of admit it to yourself, like if you have been sort of like a little frivolous with your spending and things like that. And just realize you don't need those status symbols. Like, you're good enough just on your own. Like, if you do have some sort of, because that's what I'm getting here. It's like you're telling yourself, you need to tell yourself you're like a big baller or something like that. So, or like, oh, I have the nicest stuff, or like blah, blah, blah. You're like obsessed with how you look to other people or something. And I think Spirit's like, get real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not about how you look to other people. It's about how you feel about yourself. And you'll feel a lot better about yourself if you're like, because yeah, with this Seven of Swords, it's like, I feel like there's some sense of like, I should be saving, but oh, like, you know what I mean? Even if you don't feel it yet, I feel like you will feel it later. What other advice do you have for pile one? The Medallion. Like, it's like you don't feel like you're good enough and you're constantly reaching for something else in order to kind of validate yourself. Oop, that fell on the floor. If I can pick it up. And the Tear. Okay, so with the Tear, again, maybe that's pointing to some sort of like emotional issues that like you're kind of trying to fill a void with like material things. So, I mean, not that you don't need any material things and things like that, but it's like that's not the only thing that's gonna like make you feel better. Like, have a balance. Like, it's good to have nice stuff and make your space beautiful and have nice clothes that make you feel good about yourself, obviously. But if it's like a compulsion in order to like hide an insecurity, like just take a look at that and sit with that, you know, question and just see if that's like ringing a bell for you. Okay, so if you take this advice and sort of like get a little more realistic about, you know, the things you're spending your money on, because a lot of times we don't want to look about it, we don't want to think about it, look at it or think about it. So I think Spirit's like, start being realistic and take a look at these things and just see, like, are you doing it because you want to like look a certain way and be better than other people? I mean, maybe subconsciously or consciously, just like think about that. And instead of trying to be the King of Pentacles, baller, be like the King of Swords and be smart. You know what I mean? Make smarter decisions. Like, research into, with the King of Swords, research like ways to invest, IRAs, money, like things like that. If you don't have one through your job, like look into things like that, you know, and ways you could save, CDs, invest your money so you can't touch it for like 5 years or whatever it is, you know, just like put money away for that and build some interest while you're at it. Like, you know, be smart. All right, so what could be coming up next for pile one? We have Cracked Cup, dissatisfaction with life. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of what it is. It's like you're trying to fill a void or something like that. And I think Spirit's like, you're looking in the wrong place. Like, the way to fill that void is like in a more emotional way. I don't know what that really means. It's kind of like a, sorry, what is this? I feel like that's kind of like a vague message, but if you're dissatisfied with life and like, you know, a bunch of new clothes isn't going to fix the problem. It's just like a band-aid, you know? Parrot, someone will gossip about all your secrets. Okay. I don't know about that, but hold on. Maybe like, I feel like you could be like a little braggy too, a little showy or something like that is what I'm getting with this. So I don't know, try to like take it down a notch. Crib, birth or conception of a child or enterprise. So hold on, let's just get the rest. Flowers, happiness. This is what's coming up next for your finances. And Flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. So I feel like, what I'm getting from all of this is that, you know, this is like a new era starting with the Crib. Feeling a little bit more secure. I get security with the Crib. Happiness, we have the flowers here. Flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. I feel like that could be about, in regard to your finances. I mean, it's saying like, do not be tempted. So do not be tempted to just like spend all your money. I feel like with this Flag, I'm getting that you're going to be in a little bit more of like a, what's the word? Like the opposite of temptation, like, have more willpower, I guess. Something like that. So I feel like in regards to your finances, like that's what's coming up for you. Like, you're going to be like in a place where maybe your willpower is going to get tested a little bit, but you're going to have this nest egg, so you're going to feel a little bit more secure. And I feel like maybe, I don't know, like you'll be like super proud of yourself or something, and maybe you'll be like bragging about it or something like that, and people will maybe be like annoyed by it. I don't know, like with that parrot. Let's clarify the parrot. I don't know what that is. For your finances, hat, you will be playing a different role. I don't know, maybe something like, I don't know, sometimes these things throw me off, but maybe we're gonna get a new parrot. Okay, let's just leave it at that. I don't know what that parrot is. Maybe just be aware. Oh, maybe it's like identity theft or something like that, so just like be careful about that. I'm thinking about like somebody maybe like with your secrets in regard to your financial stuff. Maybe someone's gonna like try to like, let me see, I don't know, like identity theft. Just be careful out there. All right, guys. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap it up here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please let me know in the comments or subscribe to my channel, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye. Hey lovies, welcome or welcome back. Nope. Hey pile 2, so if you chose the Celestite and this card here, this is going to be your reading. We have the second house, owning. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of like cool stuff going on in the collective right now. Like I feel like you're in a very secure place with the second house. You could have reached some sort of peak in your career. You could be like a boss here. The second house is like Taurus energy, being very comfortable. I feel like you could be, it's kind of similar to pile 1, but we'll see what like your money habits are. If you could have the same sort of like thing happening, but be handling your money in a completely different way. You know what I mean? So I feel like you could be like owning like your own home, you could have bought a new car, like you could have had some new sort of like luck, came into some money recently, something like that. But I feel like you're definitely taking control of your finances and you're pretty comfortable right now. So let's just start and get the rest of the cards here. Let's get this one first. Tap me into the energy of pile 2. What's going on with pile 2's finances right now, Spirit? Let's see. We have sanctuary. Take time out from the world, spend more time alone, meditate, or go on a retreat of patience. I feel like what I'm getting from this is that you're sort of like, you're at a place where you're like sort of like owning where you have been with your money, or something like that. It's like you're maybe like hunkering down and trying to like change your financial destiny. I'm just kidding. But like your finances, like you're trying to like improve your finances or something by like slow and steady progress. The second house, like I said, rules Taurus, which is a fixed sign, fixed earth. So it's like I feel like you're slowly and surely trying to build things up. Like with the coins on this card, like I'm thinking about like just like saving your change in a jar, like saving all your little like leftover like change and like singles and stuff like that, which is something that I do, which is why I just thought of it. Or just maybe even like taking, like you're making sure you save like $10 a week, like you're taking 10% of your paycheck every week. But I feel like you're being very consistent, or you're trying to be, and you're being very consistent as far as like you're kind of maybe not going out as much with the sanctuary, take time out from the world. It's like, you know, that you have to sort of like take this time to like hunker down and like save money if you want to have more fun later or something like that. So let's see, what is, and even, you know what I'm thinking of? Oh my God, I can't remember his name. Oh my God, he is that actor. He was in Parenthood. He played Hattie's boyfriend. He was in that movie Creed, I think, like that actor. Oh my God, he's so cute. What is his name? I can't like think of his name for the life of me. But like, it's like this meme or something, or maybe it was a video that was going around, like a reel. But it was him talking about how like he said that he was gonna like, I think it's like an Aries meme. I don't know if he's an Aries, but they used him for that meme, where he said he like made the promise to himself that he was gonna like hunker down and study and blah blah blah, and like so that way he would like be able to have fun later on. I just thought of that when I said what I said. So I feel like you're like in that mode maybe where you're like studying for school. You're like making sure that you're focusing on your studies right now. Like for instance, if you're in college, like you're not going out like with all your friends. You're like, no, I'm just gonna stay home. Like I have to really like focus on my schoolwork, have a good GPA so I can like get a good job or whatever, like get an internship, whatever. I never really went to college and did that, so I don't know how that works, but you know what I'm saying. Or if you're trying, oops, sorry, I know I just like shook the camera. Or if you're trying to like build up a new business, it's like, no, I really have to stay home and like work on this stuff. Like I have to research, I have to like, you know, make these candles, I have to like make this soap, I have to, I don't know, whatever, what other businesses are there out there? I don't know, whatever it is. Like you're staying home working on your business, like you're researching your SEOs, like you're working on your Etsy shop, you're working on your if you're a writer, you're writing, you're doing whatever, like, you know, like to try to, if you're a singer, you're recording some new tunes. If you're a musician, like, you know, practicing on the guitar or whatever. So I feel like you're really like, whatever it is, you're sort of like making sure to like take time to yourself to focus on your goals. You're very goal oriented right now, I feel. So let's see what else for you guys. Pile 2. What's going on with pile 2? Oh, did I already get this one? No. What's going on with, tap me in the energy of pile 2 with their finances right now? What's going on with them? We have action, number 17. Yeah, it's like you're really making movement towards your goals. And even with this journey card here, I feel like she's leaving these bags behind. You're leaving a lot of like your bad habits in the past. I'm getting like with this black horse and this white horse, it's like you're like, for instance, if you've been like smoking, you quit smoking. It's like, okay, that's like less money that I have to spend on stupid stuff. You're kind of like getting rid of all the dead weight that's kind of maybe like sucking up your money, you know? And even like I was saying, if you're working on a business, it could be that you're kind of getting rid of all the energy sucks in your life in a different way, in a more emotional way. Where if you're like obsessing about somebody all the time, like a guy, like, you know, or girl, whatever, like a situationship, if you will, It's like you're letting it go. It's like you're like, you know what, like I gotta focus on my own stuff here. Like, you know what I mean? It's like this is just sucking up all my time and energy. I'm watching tarot readings and doing all this stuff, and it's like this person isn't even like, you know, doing anything for me. It's like that's what takes some time out from the world, spend more time alone. Like you're getting rid of all the energy sucks. Even if it's just an energy suck on your time, if it's an annoying friend that's just like always calling you to complain, like you're not answering the phone anymore. Like, all right, I got my own problems. I got my own stuff to worry about over here. It's like sometimes that could feel a little bit selfish, but I feel like you're getting rid of all the energy sucks and the dead weight in your life in order to sort of like propel yourself forward, which is smart. That's like a great strategy, guys. And let's see. Any like wherever like your money sucks, maybe you like deleted DoorDash off your phone finally because you're like, you know what, like it's costing me $30 every time I order on DoorDash to get Taco Bell when I could just drive there and spend like $20. Like it's an extra $10. Like that shit adds up. Like, you know, with all the coins, I feel like you're thinking about all the things that like add up, all the way, like all the things you're spending money on and trying to like, maybe you're cooking more, like instead of like getting food out all the time, stuff like that, you know. Thrifting instead of like going to Calvin Klein, whatever it would be for you. You're trying to like clip coupons. Like I feel like you're just doing stuff like to sort of make sure you have more money. Tap me into the energy of Pile 2. What's going on with their finances right now? Ooh. Take time to breathe out. Again, there's this energy of like pulling back, but then look, the energy is gaining momentum. Pulling back, almost like a, what's it called? A slingshot. When you like pull it back, but then woo, it's like, you know what I mean? Like with this action is like you're pulling back in order to move forward. This is really, I feel like with your time, your energy and your actual money, like you're sort of doing that in regards to everything, like across the board. And it's like really, really going to propel you forward. I feel like you're really taking the time to sort of, I don't know what happened. Maybe like the last full moon that we had, sort of like put you on this journey, or you could have been doing this for a while. Like I was saying with the Taurus energy, that's a very steadfast energy, but this is more like a fire energy. So it's like you have that really good balance of like earth and fire, which I feel like is kind of like the energy that you need in order to like achieve your goals. Like you need to not just like sort of like jump in and start something without like that earth energy, like, you know, stabilizing you, grounding you, and backing it up. But at the same time, if you're just kind of planning and blah, 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 plodding along, it's like you need that fire to like take risks, try new things, like, you know, invest and do whatever, like take risks. Sometimes you got to do that too. That's like a part of it. And, you know, make things happen for yourself. Go after the things that you want. You can't be just like, oh, I'm just going to save up every dollar that I make, but maybe you have a new opportunity for a new job, but you don't take it because you're too scared. You know, you need that fire, that bravery, that momentum to get going there. So tap me into the energy of Pile 2. What's going on with their finances right now, Spirit? Ooh. We have Jupiter, expansion, enthusiasm, optimism, generosity, benevolence, beliefs, luck, seeking, travel, positivity, lectures, foreign cultures, teaching, pilgrimage, chance, expansion, leaping, exploration, and potential. Like, yeah, it's like I feel like you, at the same time that you're pulling back, you're also like expanding out in a certain way. With the dice there, maybe taking a few risks, like a few gambles on something. You're trying new things, you're expanding your beliefs about money. Maybe you're doing like manifesting work and stuff like that, where you're like trying to be like, I'm lucky, or you're listening to subliminals, something like that. But I feel like you are let's see, I'm just gonna looking at this. This is the complexity, quincunx. I feel like you're kind of just going for things and then like kind of pulling back and making adjustments, like going for, you know what I mean, like trying something new and then pulling back and making an adjustment like if needed. Like, you know, you're kind of like in an experimental phase right now, and you're expanding your beliefs about money and about yourself, I would say. And you're kind of thinking like, we have 2 8s here. That's like a number of infinity and abundance. Like your abundance is like your main focus right now. I feel like that's all you're thinking about. Like I was saying, you're cutting all the dead weight out in order to give you room to expand. Like all the things that have been constricting your energy, you're just like shedding all of that and just like trying to expand, take risks, try new things. Like, you know what I mean? So God bless. This is really cool energy. So let's look in and see what's going on with your actual finances right now. That's more about like your relationship to money and stuff, but let's see what's going on with the spending. So what's going on right now for Pile 2? What's going on with their spending? Can you tell me, Spirit? Ooh, So we have the Ten of Swords, or Wands, hold on. Whee! Ten of Wands in reverse, okay. And let's get one more. And the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So, okay, like that's so weird. I put it upright and it keeps flipping in reverse. So as far as your spending, I feel like you're kind of like, I feel like you've been feeling really guilty, especially if you have been sort of spending a lot in the past. And I feel like the fact that these are both in reverse is like a good sign. I feel like you took a look in the mirror here with judgment. And you're kind of like, what am I doing? Like, how am I like creating these problems for myself? And you kind of realize that like, you were like creating a lot of stress on yourself by all the money you were like spending or whatever. And with the Five of Pentacles, I feel like you're almost like pretending that you're broke. Here's another meme I saw where it was like, just for 1 year, like delete DoorDash. Didn't I say that already? That's so funny. But like delete DoorDash, like don't go out. I forget what it said, but it said all these things that you could do. Just pretend you're broke for 1 year and like save like crazy, and then you'll be like in such a good spot. I feel like that's what you're doing. You're pretending that you're poor, even though I think you're like putting stuff away. You're putting stuff in the bank. Like you're not really spending. You're getting rid of a lot of bad habits that you had that may be related to spending. Canceling the gym membership that you haven't been to in 3 years. Okay, it's like $10 a month. It's what, $120 a year plus whatever. What times 3 is what, 360? I don't know, $360 you could have had for something else. Like, I know that's really not a lot over the course of 3 years, but that's $360 like you could have had in the bank. Like, whatever, like who cares? It all adds up. Like, that's what I feel like you're thinking about. That's like the overall concept of like how you're looking at your money right now. Like, it all adds up. It all, every little bad decision that I make, or every like time I like just spend money on some unnecessary bullshit, like it adds up. And it's like you're trying to like make it all add up into your savings instead of like, or whatever you're doing with your money, or you're investing it into a business or whatever you're doing. I feel like you're realizing that it does all add up, and you'd rather spend your money on whatever, your security or your dreams or whatever it is, but something not just like I was using smoking as an example before, like not on cigarettes. Like you want to spend it on like, I don't know, your future, whatever it is, your retirement, like I don't know. I feel like you're trying to make better decisions like that. So what about saving? What's going on? So we have the Three of Pentacles. So I feel like, ooh, and the Knight of Wands. So I feel like it is building up, and then we have Strength on the bottom of the deck. So I feel like your savings game is like pretty strong right now, but I feel like there is still this impulsive side to you where I feel like even though you are building things up, again, this looks like coins to me. So it's like you're starting off small, but it's gonna like, you know, it's gonna expand out. Like the Three of Pentacles is like an expansion of your finances, and I feel like with the Knight of Wands, it's like you could have like, the Three of Pentacles is like the master craftsman or whatever card. So I feel like you could have researched a lot of this. You could have like become like sort of like a master of saving money. Like you could have watched a lot of videos on YouTube about investing, for example, because the Knight of Wands, again, is sort of like a risk taker, and it's going well with this action card. So maybe you like researched how to like invest in the stock market, and you like threw some of your money in there or something like that, or like I was saying, you invested in a business or something like that. So I feel like that's kind of where you're at with savings. But I feel like I am getting a sense of like, oh, this is like a triangle too. That I just like was noticing that on this card, like that's the first thing I noticed, so that's pretty cool. But I feel like even with the Three of Pentacles, like you could be getting advice from somebody that you trust in regard to money, someone that you know is like super good with their money, maybe a Leo here, or maybe you're a Leo, but we do have that Leo energy coming through here. So I feel like, again, that's like a fixed fire sign where it's like you're trying to control your actions when it comes to money and not just be so impulsive. Because this Knight of Wands, usually the Knight of Wands is like charging forward on his horse. I feel like if you do have impulsive spending tendencies, you're trying to take a look at what you're doing. You're taking a look at the wand. Like you're not just like using the wand, using your money or whatever it is. Like you're like taking a look, like, do I really need this? Like you're kind of stopping yourself before you make any impulsive decisions, and you're trying to fix whatever messes have already been made. Now let's take a look at your credit here. What's going on with your credit? We have the Three of Wands, again, another 3, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like with your credit, you could have a good credit score. the Queen of, and then the King of Cups here, and the Emperor underneath that. So I feel like you have probably really good credit. Maybe that wasn't always the case with this Three of Wands. I'm getting that it took you like a while to get there. So maybe you did mess up your credit, and then you had to try to fix it. Or maybe you're I'm getting that you might still be in that process, where maybe you have some debt, but like you're really good at paying your credit cards on time. So even though you do have debt, your credit score hasn't been affected, like your ratio isn't as bad. I feel like you could have made some progress, or you could see how like you're gonna maybe like in 1 year from now, like you're playing the long game here, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what I was saying, you're pulling back in order to slingshot your way forward. Like right now you're here, you know that in 6 months you'll be in like your credit card debt will be like reduced by half, for example, or something like that. And like by the time you're here, like 1 year from now, like you'll be like almost done paying everything off or something like that. But I feel like you have been making really good decisions when it comes to your money here. I feel like this is all in all pretty good. Again, I saw another knight, the Knight of Swords. I just like picked up the deck like this, and I cut to the Knight of Swords, where I feel like he was like standing up and like looking at his sword too. So I feel like you're kind of stopping yourself and trying to like just be very deliberate in your actions when it comes to your finances here. And in turn, coming through as the second house is a very sort of like powerful place to be in regards to your finances. So God bless. So what advice would you need right now? Pile 2, what advice would they need in regard to their finances? Let's see. What advice does pile 1 need right now? In regard, oh, the Two of Pentacles. Okay. That's 3. I just want to get 2 more. What advice? We have the Six of Cups. And that's like 3 cards. Hold on. What advice does pile 2 need? Okay. The Nine of Wands. Okay. So, and then the Four of Cups here. I feel like you could be almost like being a little too rigid with yourself. You could be somebody that's sort of like an extremist. So it's like all or nothing here. Like I was saying, you're pretending that you're poor, like, you know what I mean? And you're like beating yourself up, like, for all your spending habits in the past. It was like a really big burden to you. So maybe you kind of were going crazy, like if that was the case. But it's almost like I'm getting like you're not accepting offers of like, yo, want to go out to dinner? Oh, I can't, I really can't. And then you're eating like a can of Chef Boyardee. Like, okay, like I have to pretend I'm poor. Like I want to save money or something like that. And I think Spirit's like, all right, let's keep it, you know, like, let's try to like achieve more like financial balance here with the Two of Pentacles. Like, you know, yes, like you want to make sure you're not just like frivolously blowing your money, but like I was saying, especially if you're sort of have gotten rid of some of the dead weight and some of the money sucks in your life, it's okay to maybe replace them with like other things. Like it is good to have fun and to have emotional harmony and spend time with the people that you love and have that sort of joy and like happiness in your life too. So just make sure you're not being too blocked off to fun, and because that could kind of put you in a lack mentality of like, I'm poor, like I can't spend money, like, you know what I mean? Try to be in this Queen of Pentacles energy where, you know, like you're very receptive to all the good things in your life, but you know that you're like established and you're good, like, you know what I mean? I'm good, I could go out to dinner like once in a while, why not? Like, you know, live it up, life is short, you know, kind of have that attitude. All right, so let's get more. What other advice would pile 2 need? Is that 2? It's 3. Okay, wait, hold on. What advice does pile 2? Tap me into the energy of pile 2. What advice do they need right now, specifically in regard to their finances? We have the Starborn. Okay, I think Spirit's saying like come out of the cave a little bit here. Come out of that shell. That was 2. Hold on. But 3 is like the number of the Empress. Again, I'm kind of getting that same thing I was saying about the Queen of Pentacles and stuff, where it's like, you know, moderation is the key here, not like complete denial. And I don't know, the comic. Okay, yeah, have fun. Spirit's saying have fun. Spirit's saying like come out of that shell, come out of that cave. Like you don't need to deny yourself every little thing. Why did I just put that there? Hello. You don't need to deny yourself every little thing that you want to do, every ounce of fun in your life. Like, obviously, like, I think maybe you were a little excessively spending or having fun or whatever it was, and now maybe you feel like you're missing out on a lot of things in the name of being this is another 8, by the way. This is number 26, so we have that number twice, I believe. Yeah, it's like, I don't know, I think Spirit's saying, like, or even like find other ways to have fun with people. Like, for instance, like, I keep saying I'm going to do this with my friend Marissa, if you're watching, like, we have to do this, but where we're going to have a painting party. She's going to come over, she wants me to read her cards, and we're going to have like a painting party and just like hang out. That doesn't cost a thing, like, you know what I mean? Maybe we'll get a pizza, like $20, something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Have fun. You could have fun. Maybe be more creative with the starborn. It's number 3. Be more creative in the ways that you want to like have fun. That doesn't need to cost money. Like, another one of my girlfriends, Lily, love you. She tells me how she likes to go. There's like, we live like right on the water, like, or close to the water. So she goes to this like neighboring town and like sits like on the beach and watches the sunset. Again, grab a coffee, grab some ice cream, grab a little snacky, go have a little picnic, watch the sunset somewhere. Like, there's ways that you can enjoy like the things that life has to offer without like spending like so much money. Like, you know what I mean? So find little more ways to do that. So let's see what's coming up next for you guys. I honestly wish I didn't do this because, oh my god, I just like inhaled some of my hair and almost like choked on it. Excuse me. There is like a sort of I just didn't like the messages that come out. These cards are so literal sometimes. I wish I used a different one. But what's coming up next for you guys? Quill, get back to the basics. Okay. Or even just the basic ways to have fun. That's kind of what I'm getting. Tortoise, slowly but surely getting ahead. That's exactly the vibe of what I'm getting for you guys. And like, I think Spirit's saying like, yes, you will. Like, what you're doing is right. Keep on doing it. December. Okay, so maybe in December something cool will happen. Like, you'll have how far away is December? Maybe you'll really make some progress, whether it's a saving goal, a goal with your business, or a goal with like your credit. Like, we were talking about all those things. So maybe you'll realize like, oh wow, I'm like halfway there. Like, oh wow, like, you know, I have like $5,000 in the bank. Like, you'll reach some sort of goal or something in December. Ram, a stubborn, aggressive person. Aries energy, so I feel like that's that same sort of action energy. If you get an opportunity, jump on it. There could be some new opportunities coming through. Needle and thread, a sincere wish will be granted. So maybe if you have been working on a business, like, it'll really take off, or you'll win some money somehow, come into some money. Anything is possible, and be able to like pay off your debt a lot quicker than you initially thought, or something like that. But because you've taken the time to like build these good spending habits, it's like your energy is changing, and that might attract in some stuff to make things happen a little quicker, if that makes sense, like that action energy. So if you feel like, you know, you've been, you know, you're just starting or something, I feel like just like the work that you're doing is making like a lot of inner progress for you, like more so than I think you realize. And I think you're a lot farther along than you think you are. Okay. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I like this one. This one just flowed. Pile 1 was a little like, I was having trouble like articulating it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next reading. All right, guys? Bye. All right. Hey guys, so if you chose pile 3 or card 3, the Lepidolite. I'm going to put there. This is going to be your reading to check into your finances. So we have, ooh, Grand Trine Blessings, number 4610. Reduces to a 10 or a 1. So I feel like you could be in the midst of some sort of like really cool transition in your life. You could have, I don't know, like I guess had some blessings. I don't really know. Let's like look into the reading and see what else we get. But obviously things are going good for you financially. If we're getting this card, you feel blessed financially. So good for you guys. All right. You could be in a really good position financially. What's the first card though? It's not that one. Sorry. Let's get this. What's going on for pile 3? Tap me into the energy of pile 3 right now. Where are they at with their finances? Could have had some good luck with some things or something like that, or just be like super comfortable with your finances in general. All right, what's going on with pile 3? Ugh, this freaking microphone wire, I can't. Leadership. Okay, so maybe you got some sort of new job where you're like a boss now or something like that, or step into your leadership, share your message, inspire and empower others. So maybe like I was saying, you have some, or maybe like I was saying, this is already like established. You have this sort of job and you have had it and you're just doing good in life right now, you know? You're a boss. You're a boss bitch or like a boss dude. All right, let's see. What's going on for pile 3? It's finances right now, Spirit. Tap me into pile 3. We have man holding a coin. Like, you are doing good here. I feel like this is pretty clear. I don't really know what else to say. Like, you're blessed. Like, maybe you're rich. Maybe you're born into money or something like that. You've had really good luck lately. Maybe some of your investments have, like, yielded some sort of results, some dividends. Your stocks went up or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see. What's going on with pile 3? Ooh, the end of a tough cycle approaches. Ooh, this came through in my moon reading. Don't let your past hold you back with the South Node. So maybe like this last moon really like gave you a new sort of like feeling. Well, let me just get the last card because now I'm getting like some sort of like emotional thing. But hold on. Let's see. What's going on with pile 3's finances? Oh, or maybe like you had a toxic boss at your old job or something like that, and then you got this new job where you like you are the boss, like, you know what I mean, and you're kind of like I don't know, not like the tables have turned, but like I don't know, you're just in such a better spot. I feel like this is almost like emotional. I don't know why I'm getting that like vibe. Okay, opposition, balance, and then Aries here. Relates, mirrors, interacts, confronts, makes conscious, manifests, disciplines, conflicts with, tests, objectifies, and calls out. Like, I don't know, like maybe there's some sort of conflict here with a person in power or something like that. I'm kind of getting that. Like, maybe you feel like you like your job even, and that you have, there's a lot of boss energy here, man holding a coin, leadership, that Capricorn energy is like a boss. I feel like maybe even if you are in a very comfortable financial position or something, like emotionally you're not happy or something like that. I'm kind of getting that. Maybe you're trying to learn to like stand up for yourself more and sort of like step into this like boss energy yourself. If there is some difficulty in the workplace, this is supposed to be about your finances, so I kind of feel like this is taking a weird direction here. Let's just look into your actual finances, because I don't know, like overall though, I'd say you're in a comfortable position financially. As far as your money goes, like you're kind of like, but maybe somebody has like power over you or something like that, and you're trying to think of a way to get more independence for yourself. Something like that, but not in a way of like, oh, I need to like get my own place, but maybe if it's like a marriage or something like that, maybe like your husband or wife is the one like that is like controlling the purse strings and controlling like how much money you get to spend. So it's like, even if you do have like technically a financially secure position, or like you've got money in the bank, it's not really your money, it's theirs, and you don't really have access to it, and you don't really have your freedom or something. I'm kind of getting like somebody maybe has control over you. I don't know. Let's just see what comes out in the tarot. Like, sorry, I feel like I hate when the reading kind of takes a weird turn like that, but I'd be like remiss to not mention it because that's like what I'm like feeling. So what's going on with pile 3's finances? But maybe that's what they're saying, like your finances are like what's holding you back, or like your fear maybe of losing like your finances is keeping you under somebody's thumb or something like that. Like it's like I'm noticing all these like, it's like these planks of wood with rocks on them, and there's like a small rock and then a big rock, like a small rock and a big rock. It's like somebody has more, it's not an equal partnership or an equal dynamic between you and whoever this is. All right, let's see what comes out in the tarot. What's going on with your spending habits? The Hierophant. Again, sort of like a boss energy. Someone's keeping a close eye on what you spend your money on, maybe, or something like that. This is 2. All right, what's going on with pile 1 spending habits? The Moon. Again, it's like sort of like an emotional, and then we have the Princess of Swords. I feel like maybe with the Moon and the Hierophant, as far as spending, let's like step away from this. I feel like it's almost like, again, like out of reach. Like you don't really have access to your finances. There's some sort of block. There's some sort of like somebody in control here. With the Princess of Swords, sort of like watching your every move, or maybe you like live at home and this is your parent, and then that would make sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe your parents are really sort of like dictating what you do with your money that you make, which maybe they're doing it from a good place. Like, oh, you got to save your money though. Like, give me your money. I'm going to put it in an account for you or something like that. That would make sense here. Okay. So maybe it's something like that where you are making money, but, and maybe even if you're like younger and it's like, you are making a lot of money somehow. I'm thinking of this girl I work, you know, a couple of the kids I work with that are young, they're teenagers, they still live at home, but they're waitressing with me. I know what I make, so they probably make around the same, like, you know, so maybe their parents are sort of, well, not them, but like, I'm just saying, like, I could, if it, like their parents were like, okay, we got to save that money though, and like taking it away, like, you know, that could be like a situation like this. So I feel like there's some sort of authority figure sort of dictating, what you do with your money here, but it's like you're kind of sitting here like, and your money is like out of reach, like for you is what I'm getting. Like you only maybe have like a little bit. Okay, so let's, I'm not like laughing at that because that actually sounds sad and whatever, but maybe it is for the best. Maybe like, you know, especially if it is the thing where you're young, maybe you would spend all your money, so that's why Spirit's like coming in. If it's like a spouse or something though, that's just annoying, and I'm so sorry. I don't even know how somebody could gain that much control over you, but I know that, like, you know, people find a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. There's somebody here though, maybe they're like even holding on to your money, something like that. I didn't even ask the question, but okay. What are your saving habits? Pile 3. We have the King of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so I feel like you, like I was saying, there is a lot of money in the bank here, and then we have the Star. So I feel like your saving habits are good, but again, I feel like it's almost like out of your hands. Again, with the King of Swords, it's like there's somebody here, like, again, dictating sort of like what happens with your money, so it's sort of like against your will. But there is a nest egg, like wherever you're at, like you have you are financially secure in a way. I feel like with the 10, the Wheel of Fortune though, and the King of Swords, the King of Swords, I don't know, like I feel like maybe they're saying like this person has all the money and they're kind of standing guard over it. I'm kind of getting like this is you here, like on your own. The fact that this person's also on an iceberg here, like they're on an iceberg, you're on an iceberg, they're like looking over at you, like they're having like this fortune behind them, like, and you don't really have access to it again. So it's like a lot of your money maybe is saved, but it's like, again, you don't have access to it. So I don't know, like this isn't really about the way you manage your money. I feel like Spirit's just wanting to come through here and talk about, I can't wait to get to the advice because I wonder what that's going to be. How about your credit? Let's just look in. All right, we have the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Wands. So maybe you don't really have the best credit here for whatever reason. Maybe With the Five of Pentacles, like I was saying, like everything is in the other person's name. So even though like you have the things that you want and things like that, it's like you don't really have established credit for yourself. So like, okay, let's talk about if this is a marriage. If this is a marriage, it's very difficult for you to kind of break out of it and get out on your own, because like I was saying, you don't have access to the funds here. Maybe your person also has a lot of knowledge about like the legal systems, like if it's a spouse, and you feel like they just know more about how all that stuff works, and they maybe protected themselves legally, because a lot of times Swords energy can talk about legal matters, contracts. Maybe they made you sign a prenup, for example, so it's like you won't get anything. Maybe it's like the sort of thing where they own a business and you work there, so it's like you don't even get your own income to begin with, but you just sort of like get an allowance of what they see fit for you. So you don't really have even credit, because say like it's a car, they maybe buy you a car and put it in their name, so it's like they're kind of keeping you controlled in more ways than one here. This is and I feel like with the Ten of Wands, it's almost like they're doing it in the name of like, oh, so that way you don't have to worry about it, like I'll pay all the bills or something like that. It seems like they're being giving, but what they're really getting is control over you or something like that. I feel like they could have, you know, maybe made it seem at the beginning like, oh, I'll take care of all the bills, just blah blah blah, like have a traditional marriage. And if you are like the woman in this, you know, case, or like just, you don't have to be the woman, but I'm talking about traditional marriage roles of like the husband is like the breadwinner and the boss of everything, but like the woman like cleans the house and like helps out in that and raises the kids and stuff like that. So it's like but they're like, you won't ever have to worry about money, and you technically don't, but it's like you're worried maybe about your own independence here. If this is something where I feel like somebody else has complete control over your life, and I feel like sometimes you just like sit around, you're like, how did this happen? Like, but I feel like whoever this is very smart with the King of Swords. So if you feel like, you know, stupid or something like that for like letting yourself get in this situation, please don't, because I feel like this person knew what they were doing the whole time and sort of did this on purpose, whereas you were probably just thinking, you know, maybe like, wow, what a blessing, like this is, like, you know, I don't have to worry about things anymore. You were just happy to sort of have the stress like lifted off of you and, you know, be with the person that maybe I'm sure you felt you loved at one time, because the moon is here, so like your emotions were definitely involved. But I feel like at this point, this is just a burden that you've sort of accepted, and that your life is this way. So, ooh, this is like some heavy stuff. If we're gonna go back to the analogy of like if you're younger, I think, and like with your credit, like we're just talking about credit here, I feel like, and again, like this would work again with the analogy if the parent has your savings, but you just don't have access to it. They're kind of like standing in the way of it, like, oh, you can't get to it. But if, as far as your credit goes, maybe it's like your credit isn't the best, or maybe it's like, I don't know, like if you're young, maybe you just don't have credit, so it's like you can't really, you just haven't established your credit yet. But there's something here where maybe it's like already bad. Maybe you're like, if we're talking about like other people, maybe it's like your family has bad credit or something like that. I don't know. So like you feel like it's just like your destiny to have bad credit or something, which I don't think it is. So definitely look into things like that. But I feel like there's something here where I don't know, you could have like this mentality of being poor or something like that. This is again the situation where if you're like a younger person and your parents are controlling the money, something like that, where you feel like a lot of the burden is on you or something. I don't know, but this is weird coming up in the credit portion. So maybe you just feel like you're destined to be poor, or you're destined to like, or maybe this is you sort of like looking back on your, or looking on your family's like money issues and sort of making a decision to do things differently. I'm not going to have this burden on me. I'm never going to like even get a credit card, for example. Maybe you're just like kind of averse to the idea of credit cards in general, because you feel like it's only going to lead somewhere bad. So I would like just do your research on that, because there is a way to like, credit is a neutral thing. Even credit cards, it's how you use them. If you use them to build your credit so you can buy a house and things like that, you know, and be responsible with it, it could be used, it could be good, it could benefit your life. If you know, obviously you're careless with it, it's not gonna, you know, it could kind of ruin your life. Like a lot of times people are like your life is your credit score, like that's it. So I mean, I would definitely look into ways to like use it in a healthy way. And if you're the other version here, like again, maybe you just feel like there's no point, I would try to maybe get like a credit card and start building up your credit in some other way. Maybe start trying to like, well, let's get the advice before I like get ahead of myself and see what Spirit has to say, because they know best, not me. All right, guys. So what advice does my pile 3 need in regards to their finances here? All right. What's the advice here for pile 3? Their finances. Ooh, the King of Swords coming through again. I love this. Wait, hold on. Wait. Ooh, the 10 of Swords. That's too many. Oh, that's 2. Hold on. Oh, I'm going to keep that because I felt like, and this also I saw almost come out before too. So we're going to have the 10 of Swords going, or 10 of Pentacles going to the 9 of Pentacles. All right. The first message I'm getting, we're going to talk about this marriage example first, is to realize that you are looking at, you have a very distorted perception of yourself. You see your person as the King of Swords, and I feel like you see yourself as like their loyal subject, or like some sort of like lesser role, their slave, their servant, the person that was duped by them. You see like something like that where you think of yourself as less than them. First off, the advice here is to recognize how smart you really are. You are on their level. You're just as smart as them. And I want to say you're just as cunning as them, because I feel like they are very cunning and they've had to be that way. They had to be that way in order to like get you in the position where they want you. But you're also, you could be cunning too. Like, you know what I mean? And maybe you have some sort of moral reasons that you don't want to do that. But like, you're the effing high priestess here, okay? I want you to understand that. Like, you are just as smart. You are just as capable. Maybe they got you at like a vulnerable time or something like that. They locked it down with you when you were going through, maybe like you had just had a terrible breakup and then they locked it down. They came in and saved the day like a knight in shining armor or something like that. And I feel like though, if this is a marriage, it's a very cold marriage. It's very materially based and things like that. If this is the example with the, like, if you're like a youngin', I think it's like, just do your research. If you're scared of kind of having, you know, a financial failure, you're scared of making the same mistakes like we were talking about earlier, do your research, become the King of Swords, become a master of your financial knowledge here. Like, you know what I mean? You've got time to learn, especially if they are saving your money for you. Decide what you want to do with it. I don't know what kind of family like you come from, if like they're kind of putting it in a trust for you, or saving it for your wedding, or saving it for a car, or saving it for college, or whatever the case is here. But I don't know if you are going to be able to have access to it, you know, at some point. They kind of make decisions and research that way. Like, even if you sit down with them and they are a little controlling, you could be like, listen, Mom, like, I did my research and I feel like I want to do this and that with my money because of XYZ, like blah blah blah. Like, you know, have your research so you know what you're talking about, and your parents are going to think like, oh, like, you just want to take your money and like, you know, go party with it and just blow it on, you know, whatever they think you would blow it on. You know what I mean? And then we have the 10 of Swords. I think we need to stop end these negative thought patterns, whether it's about ourselves, whether it's about what we believe we can achieve in the financial world here. Like, our past doesn't predict our future. It's always important to keep that in mind. And we got to like end this cycle here and realize that like every day can be like the start of like a new, I don't know how to say it, but like, you can decide to be different just inside first, and then it'll start to expand out. Like, you could feel hopeless, like there's no solution, like you just feel like you're like lying here on the ground and you've just been beaten down so much that, oh my God, sorry, there's no way out. There's no way. This is more for like the marriage example, I would say, but also the mentality like you have about money if you're the young and watching. But if this is the marriage example, I feel as though it's like you just feel so defeated by life. Like, I feel like there could have been multiple ways that this person controlled you, or multiple bad things that have happened to you overall, that you just feel like you don't have the strength. And I feel like with the 10 of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles, it's like I don't know. I feel like maybe you're very entrenched in each other's lives. Like you're very entrenched in their life and their family and things like that. I'm seeing this as like a grandfather, like another couple, animals, like everything, kids, like there's a kid there. It's like all these people. I feel like you dream about like having your own independence and having your own little place and your own little garden here. Like maybe it won't be this big castle. So maybe that's the advice here, is recognize maybe you won't be able to live the lifestyle that you were accustomed to or that you've gotten accustomed to, but maybe it'll be some new sort of thing, like some new adventure, like some new vibe, like, you know what I mean? And I feel like Spirit is wanting you to know, like, you can make it on your own here. You have, like I was saying, like, you are the King of Swords too. Like, you can get yourself out of this mess. But I think something you need to ask yourself is like, am I keeping myself here because I like this lifestyle? Is this lifestyle worth my independence? And that's a question maybe you kind of struggle with, this opposition energy. It's like you're kind of like go back and forth, like, oh, but like then I won't be able to, like, I don't know, whatever material benefits you're getting out of this marriage, like whatever it is, like if I had my own independence, I wouldn't be able to do this and that. I wouldn't be able to go on this many vacations. I wouldn't be able to blah, blah, blah. Okay. And maybe that's something that's worth your freedom and independence to you. No judgment, whatever. Or maybe you're the opposite, where it's like you're getting to the point now where it's changing and you're like, it is worth it. It is worth it. If I just have to go to, like, you know, New Jersey on vacation, so be it. Like, instead of like, I don't know, Greece, like, or whatever it is. I don't know. But I feel like if you are in some sort of like controlling marriage or something like that, I think it's good for you to just to kind of get rid of like the mental anguish or whatever you feel, and like the burden that it's the toll it takes on you emotionally, is sort of like really sit down and try to decide once and for all with the Ten of Swords, like, is this worth my freedom? Yes or no? And if it's yes, it's yes. And at least you can go on with in peace and maybe like have a better relationship here. Cause it's like this is like I feel like a mental battle between the two of you a lot of the time. And this is like a lot of like, I don't see like a lot of happy energy here, you know what I mean? But maybe you would feel more happy if you just accepted your life as the way it is and realized, like, I don't want to change it. Or the opposite is true. Maybe it would be difficult at first, like trying to break away from this person. It seems like they really got their clutches into you. So if that's the case and you decide and you really do end up breaking free, like, I feel like eventually you will reach this place of peace and happiness and just comfortability within yourself. And just, this is Pentacles. So I feel like you're probably, like I was saying, you're a lot smarter than you think you are, and you're a lot more capable than you think you are, and your ability to make money is, I feel like you bring a lot to the table here. I feel like this person has the 10 of Pentacles, but you've contributed 9 Pentacles of your own, and don't ever forget that. And I feel like maybe your person is the type that maybe is like, oh, I'm the smartest person and I did this all on my own, but they could have never done it without you, kind of a thing, you know? So just keep that in mind, okay? Like, oh, all right, let's see. Oh my God, I didn't even get these. I forgot about these cards. All right, let's see if we have any additional wisdom here for pile 3. That's 3. What else for pile 3? Okay, this is way too many. What advice does pile 3 need? We have the Unseen, number 27. And that's 2. That's, again, a number 9. Oh my God, with that eye watching. This is like kind of creepy. And the Venom. The Mask. It's like, I don't know. I feel like you need to get to the heart of the reason. Like, do you like having this constant, like, scrutiny of everything that you do? And, like, again, if the answer is yes, it's yes. You can release a lot of the bad energy with the Venom, you know what I mean? But just pretending that it's not happening and that doesn't bother you. I feel like your energy is very split. I feel like you could spend a lot of time, like, sort of being conflicted inside and maybe taking it out on other people and maybe controlling other people. Especially if you have kids and stuff like that, or whatever it is, like, I don't know, like, you could sort of like have ended up becoming that way yourself, and you don't realize how much this is like affecting you. Maybe you've changed a lot. But yeah, like, I think the advice is just sort of like a reiteration of like, you really need to get to the root of like what you want to do here. This is like the marriage example. As far as like, if you're the younger person watching, I feel like maybe and even with the unseen, I feel like, I'm sorry to say this, I hate to like advocate dishonesty in any way, but I feel like maybe like if there is a way for you to kind of skim some of your money before your parents kind of get control of it, if it's a check, I don't know, but again, I'm a waitress, so I always think of like cash. If there's a way you can sort of stash your own cash away somehow, like somehow take some of the money, some of the earnings before this person can get a hold of it, if any way you can think of, like, you know what I mean? So try to maybe do that. Again, I don't usually advocate dishonesty, but in this case, I think Spirit's calling on you to be a little more secretive if you can, if there is a way. So let's see what's coming up next for you guys financially, or even whatever in regard to the specific situation here. We have woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. So maybe there's someone you could talk to, like a woman in your life, a friend, like an aunt, a sister, like somebody in your life you can get some sort of advice on how to deal with the situation better. Unicorn, use your intuition to make beneficial changes. Like I feel like, yeah, we had the High Priestess here as well, so I think Spirit's kind of calling on you to sort of listen to that inner voice right now. Staff, you will be taken care of in difficult times. I think Spirit's like, if you do make this change, like in a spiritual way, I think they're saying like you will be okay. Peacock, beware of great pride. And Vine, seek out information that will help you. You need to do your research here. Like I was saying, you are this King of Swords as well. And I feel like you're sort of even giving this person even more power in your own mind by the way that you think of them. Like you think that they're all powerful and you think that you're not. And you need to be like, take your power back first in a mental way. You need to be like, you know what? Like I was saying, like if this is some sort of thing where like, say it's a business, or say it was like, I don't know, I guess a business is really the only way I can think of it, but it's like you brought in the 9 of Pentacles and now this person controls all 10, but they only contributed 1 pentacle to begin with. Does that make sense? It's like somehow, even if it was just knowledge, like, you know what I mean? It's like that contributed to this person's success somehow. Like whatever knowledge, maybe you just were really good with money, and like maybe this person had a lot of money, but they were kind of blowing it, and you taught them how to like manage their money better, and now they like did that and they used it, and now they have control of it all. And like, you know what I mean? It could be something as simple as that. So I think the message here is very clear. Do your research, seek out help, talk to people, even stuff like a shelter. I'm getting like, even if that's how you have to start out or something, like do what you have to do. Protect yourself. All right, guys? So I think we're going to leave it here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I'll catch you in the next one. Please like, comment, or subscribe if you enjoyed it. Otherwise, I will catch you in the next one. And also, if you're the young and watching, do your research about how to invest your money. Same sort of a thing. Get advice. And don't worry about the future. Spirit saying like you will be taken care of in difficult times. And yes, do your research is the #1 advice here for anyone watching this pile. All right, guys. Bye.